Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your haircut just doesn't reflect who you are anymore? Maybe it's a style you've had for years. It used to feel like you, but now something's off. It's not bad. It's not messy. It's just not right. You're not alone. So many women over 60 hold on to hairstyles that feel familiar and safe. But those very cuts might be quietly working against us, making us look older, more tired, or even less confident than we really are. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 haircuts that often age women without them even realizing it. But don't worry. I'm not just here to point out problems. I'll also share beautiful, modern alternatives that still feel like you, just a fresher, lighter, more confident version. These are cuts that work with your face, not against it. And here's the best part. You don't need a drastic makeover. Sometimes, a small tweak is all it takes to bring back that spark when you look in the mirror. So stay with me, especially until the end, because the number one mistake women over 60 still make is something I've seen again and again. And the fix, it's easier than you think. 1. The heavy straight cut. Safe but secretly aging. Let's start with the haircut that might feel like the safest choice. But in reality, it can quietly add years to your appearance. I'm talking about the heavy, blunt, straight across cut. Know the one. No layers, no movement, just a solid sheet of hair that falls straight down. A lot of women over 60 stick with this cut because it feels simple. It's easy to maintain, it looks neat, and hey, it's what you've always had. But here's the catch. When your hair is cut all one length, it pulls the eye downward. That dragging effect can actually emphasize sagging around the jawline, neck, and shoulders. Instead of lifting your features, it weighs them down. And let's be honest, hair like that doesn't move with you. It just hangs there. No bounce, no softness, no personality. It doesn't reflect the woman you've become, full of wisdom, warmth, and energy. It holds you in the past. But there's a simple fix. Add some long, subtle layers. Nothing dramatic. Just enough to bring back flow and movement. When your hair starts to lift and sway again, something incredible happens. So do you? Suddenly, you're not hiding behind your hair. You're wearing it like a crown. 2. Baby bangs. Small fringe. Big problem. Now let's talk about baby bangs. You've seen them. Those super short bangs that sit high above the eyebrows. Some call them edgy or artsy. And yes, they can look trendy on younger women or in a high-fashion magazine spread, but for most women over 60, they're more trouble than they're worth. The biggest issue with baby bangs is that they leave the entire forehead exposed. And that's usually the first place time leaves its mark. Fine lines, age spots, texture changes. Again, there's nothing wrong with those signs of life. But the question is, do you want a haircut that highlights them? Not only that, baby bangs are high maintenance. They need constant trimming and daily styling. If your hair has any frizz, if your bangs decide to go in 5 different directions when you wake up, it can turn into a daily battle with your mirror. But here's a much softer, more flattering option. Curtain bangs. They're longer, parted in the middle, or gently swept to the side. They frame your face instead of slicing across it. They add movement, mystery, and a touch of elegance, without hiding your features. Think of it as a gentle filter, not a hard line. Curtain bangs don't just look youthful. They feel effortless. And after 60, effortless is exactly the kind of beauty we deserve. 3. The bowl cut. A helmet. Not a hairstyle you might remember the bowl cut from years ago. It's that ultra-rounded, overly structured shape that hugs the head and makes everything look, well, stiff. Some call it the helmet cut. And honestly, that's not far off. At one point, it was popular because it created the illusion of volume, especially at the crown. But for women over 60, that kind of volume ends up working against you. Why? Because it concentrates fullness in all the wrong places, right around the cheeks, the jawline, and the back of the neck. Instead of lifting the face, it enlarges it visually. It's like your hairstyle enters the room before you do. Worse, it gives you no freedom. It's the same look every single day. No natural flow, no adaptation to your mood or the weather. Just a fixed shape that often feels more like a costume than a reflection of your real self. So what should you try? Instead, a soft, layered bob or a feathered cut with movement around the face. Something that lets you tuck your hair behind your ear one day, flip it to the other side the next. Because at this stage in life, your hair should feel like a companion. Should feel like a companion. Constraint. And here's the truth. Beauty isn't in the volume. It's in the energy you bring to it. Let your hair move with you, not control you. 4. The ultra-short Pixie. Practical, but too harsh. Let's talk about the Pixie cut now. Don't get me wrong. A Pixie can be absolutely stunning. It's bold, it's practical, and it can radiate confidence. But there's one version of it that tends to backfire, especially after 60. The ultra-short, tight to the scalp Pixie. When a Pixie is cut too short, it strips away the softness that frames the face. And here's the thing, once our skin starts to show natural signs of aging, like fine lines or changes in texture, we actually need that softness more than ever. A super short Pixie leaves nothing to balance or blur those features. Instead, it can make everything feel sharper, harder, and less inviting. And let's not forget the feminine touch. Part of what makes hair beautiful isn't just how it looks, but how it moves. That simple gesture, running your fingers through it, styling it a little differently each day, that's part of your identity. When your hair is cropped too close, you lose that connection. But don't worry, this doesn't mean you have to give up on short hair. A longer Pixie, with some volume on top and gentle framing at the sides, can be incredibly chic. Let it grace the forehead. Let it grace the forehead. Cover the temples slightly, and you'll see a whole new version of yourself. Soft, modern, and full of personality. Short hair can be powerful, but only when it empowers you. 5. Choppy short layers, meant to add life. But often take it away. Layers are often praised for adding movement and volume to hair. And when done right, they absolutely do. But here's the catch. When layers are cut too short or placed without intention, especially near the crown, they can have the exact opposite effect. Instead of creating flow, overly choppy layers can make your hair look messy and shapeless. And let's be honest, no one wants to walk out of the salon with a style that only looked good in the salon. At home, without the professional blowout, these kinds of cuts often fall flat, or worse, puff up in strange places. For women with curly or afro-textured hair, this kind of layered cut can be even more damaging. It disrupts your natural curl pattern, leads to frizz and breakage, and removes the fullness that actually makes your hair beautiful. Your texture isn't something to be tamed. It's something to be shaped thoughtfully. So here's what works better. Longer, blended layers that begin below the chin or around the shoulders. These let your hair move naturally without breaking up its structure. Whether your hair is straight, wavy, or curly, the key is harmony, a cut that flows with your texture, not against it, because the right layers don't just style your hair. They support your whole presence. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. You don't need to chase trends, follow rules from your 20s, or hold on to a cut just because it once worked. Your hair isn't supposed to make you feel stuck in the past. It's supposed to make you feel stuck in the past. To evolve with you, your lifestyle, your values, and yes, your beauty. Each of these 5 cuts, the heavy straight style, the baby bangs, The bowl cut, the ultra-short pixie, and the choppy layers has one thing in common. They can disconnect you from how you want to feel, and after 60, how you feel matters just as much as how you look. So give yourself permission to choose softness, movement, and ease. Not because you want to look younger, but because you want to look more like the amazing, fully alive woman you are today. And if any of this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what haircut you're thinking about trying next, or the one you're finally ready to let go of, because this isn't just about hair. It's about reclaiming your reflection. You've earned it.